Hi everybody, this is Anthony from Sunny Creates. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So what do we have planned for today? So I'm bringing you the last part of the A to Z times 2 in the January 2022 month. And that is, we're going to be working on enamel dots today. But we are going to be working on the DIY version of it. So I know that enamel dots look a lot like, you know, normal bling that you can get in the shops. For example, just give me a second. For example, these over here. Okay, so they do look a bit similar to these, but the one thing I like about the enamel dots is that you get them in quite a few colors, and then what you can do is that you can change them around. So what I did over here is they're not completely dry, but I added some nail polish on these and I changed the color up so that if you have any journals of a specific color that you would like to add these enamel dots to, then you can go ahead and actually do that. So we've got two types of enamel dots here today. Three types if you consider this a type. So these are ones that I changed up, and all I used was these colors over here. Okay, and I made those enamel. I just changed the colors of the enamel dots. But then what we are looking at is, let's get this out of the way because we're not going to make that, but I just wanted to show you how similar they are. And then we're going to be making these ones here. Okay, so and you can get them in various colors. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, and then these ones as well. However, these ones take much longer to be able to melt down. Right, so there you go. Hope you can see them clear enough. Yes, so they take much longer, the bigger ones, to melt down than the the smaller version of it. But look how pretty they are as well. They're beautiful, and they will look a little bit more transparent. And oh, look at my hands, they're filthy. So please excuse that. I was just working on inking something very quickly. So yes, so they are very pretty, and they are worth definitely giving it a shot. But I'm going to show you both the versions of the beads that I use over here, and then I'm going to take you through the method as well. Right, so let's leave all these to one side. Here, and these as well. And before I show you the beads that we're going to use, let me show you how they look, you know, when you want to decorate them or you want to use them as decorations. So on this one here, I have it as the middle of the flower, and I used it and here because I did not want anything shiny on it. That was number one. And I also wanted something pretty flat on it. So that worked quite well. And besides that, I haven't yet found any other beads in that color. So that worked perfectly for me. So on this one here, I just added them all over the card. Now there's a video on this as well. Okay, so I've just added them all over the tag, not the card, on this one over here. Okay, so I am back. I'm not sure where I stopped because my light was giving me some issues, and I just had to sort that out. So what I think the last thing I showed you is how they can be used in a decoration, and this is just annoying me on this side here. Okay, and this is a CD cover that I well, decorated, I would say, and then it's going to go into my journal. So I'm not sure whether you would like to watch a video on this, but I'm sure everyone has decorated CD covers before, but that's how it looks. Okay, so I've taken a page from my Fabulous Flowers kit, and then I just cut around it. So it's the very same page if you look at it, but all I did is I cut around, and then I added it here, and then I just added a few more flowers and did a little bit of collage on the top there just to make it a little bit different. So I actually wanted, and that's how the back looks. Okay. So I wanted to add this right about here. Oh dear, right about here. So I wanted to add that as a glue dot right about there. So I'm going to do that now. Okay. I'm just going to leave that there to let it sit. And I don't think I put enough, so let's try and do this because this glue is seeping. Yes, that's better, much better. And we'll leave it to one side to dry, and I'll show that to you a little bit later on. Okay, so what are we doing here? I wanted to show you the beads that I actually use. Now, I know that this is called pony beads in some places, but when I went to the shops and I asked for pony beads, they looked at me as if I probably came from Mars. So that's, I don't know, maybe in other parts of South Africa, people know, you know, at the shop will know what pony beads are, but I definitely had a problem. So I went to the local craft store and I went to the children's section. I'm sorry, I'm just wiping my hands off. Oh my goodness. So I went to the local children's section, the children's section, and I found these beads. I put them into these containers here, but they were in packs, plastic packs, and now when I went over the weekend, I noticed that they are in little tubs as well, and these came in multiple colors in one little packet, but now I see that they've got them specific with specific colors in them if you would like to choose that. So I like this version because it gives me more options to play with, but they also have this, so they still have it. So those are more the brighter colors mixed with some primary colors in it there, and then these are more pastel colors here. Okay, so those are those beads over there, and they make these ones over here, these ones here. Okay, and then this one here on this side, these are, then you get these type of beads, these ones here. But as I mentioned, they do take quite a significant excuse me, sorry about that, they do take quite a significant amount of time to melt, so be patient with these ones. And I don't I mean, you can do it, but I don't suggest that you mix both of them up. So let this be a batch on its own if you want to do it, and then let this be a batch on its own that you feed into the oven. Okay, so these ones make these almost translucent ones over here. All right, so they make those ones there. And they're really, really pretty. because what happens is as they melt, they have bubbles in them. I don't know if you can see that, but they have bubbles in them. And I think that's the beauty of it. That's what makes it look so beautiful, is that the little bubbles that they have in it. Now, you'll get some stubborn ones, like that one there. And this one here, okay, that haven't melted through. So all I will do is the next time I make a batch of these, I will probably pop these into the oven again with the rest of them to give them a second chance of melting down. All right, so those are what we have. Now let's go on to the process of it. I'm just gonna move these ones out. Yeah. The more I look at those ones, the more I like them. It's just that they take mighty long to be able to melt. And then if you're not a patient person like me, then forget it. All right, so what I do is that I have a small oven, a mini oven. It's like it's got a 2-plate stove on the top and then an oven at the bottom. And all I do is, this is the tray that comes from it. So this oven that I use, or stove that I use, is only for my crafting. So I melt these beads in it, and I do polymer clay in it as well. Okay, so it's not the most like heats up really fast and really well. So it doesn't do that. So it's like a baby of ovens. So you just need to be patient with it. So this is the tray that goes into it, and this is parchment paper, or here in South Africa we actually call it baking paper. So I think around the world it's called parchment paper. And this is what I bought, and I bought it from Pick n Pay, and it's 10 meters by 30 centimeters wide. And I can tell you something, this here is really old. It must be about 2 or 3 years, or maybe even more, and I have barely used it. So because you will continue using it, over and over until you are done with it. And then I'm thinking, sorry, it's just that it's folding the wrong way. So I'm thinking that when I'm done with it, because I have a piece in my box over here. Let me show you quickly if I can get it. I'll show it to you. Yes, there's it here. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? So I took this piece out, and I think you can use it again. But then I think what starts to happen from experience is that these beads, as they get melted on, they stick a little bit onto it. So maybe that is a sign to say, okay, you know what, now take it and repurpose it for something else. So you can see the color difference over here. But I'm definitely going to do something with it, and I'll probably show you what I did with that. So there's the baking paper here, or the parchment paper, and all you're going to do is you are going to put these beads standing up. Now, I'm not sure whether there's a trick to it. I'm not sure whether certain colors melt faster than the others. I do notice that, but I don't notice with it's certain colors that are melting faster than the others, or whether it's where it is placed in the oven, you know, as the tray. This tray fits the oven. So whether there's anything to do with the placement of the of these certain beads within the this tray, I have no idea. But all you do is that you just take these beads and you lay them out, and you can do many of these here. Okay, so I'm not going to do too many because as you've noticed, I've got quite a lot to do, and that is why this video is a bit late today, because I made this quite a few years ago, and I kind of forgot the temperature that the oven needed to be set at. So I had to play around firstly with the temperature and the time that it was going to take in order to be able to give you the right measurements. I mean, yeah, well, not measurements, but right temperature and right time that you should do this. But having said that, everybody's oven is different, so you're going to have to see what works for you. So I would put it on my small oven anywhere between 150 to about 180 degrees. And then I will let's say if I'm thinking about it, and I don't know really how fast your oven works, okay, because I don't know whether all of you will have the mini ovens, but so if you have a larger, more powerful oven, then you can check it like within 7 minutes of putting it in to see whether that's going to work for you. And then if it doesn't work, then what I will, if it's not melted fully, then I would put it for maybe another 5 minutes or so, but continuously checking on it to see whether it has melted. So I'm going to put these into the oven now, and when they are done, I'm going to come back and show you what they look like and how to take them off the grease-proof paper. Okay, so let's just put a few more over here. Oh yes, so while I'm putting these few more onto the paper, I tell you, look at that. And these things are not like they're not heavy enough to keep the paper down, but don't worry, just now the paper will go much flatter. Yeah, so just spread them out so that when they become flat, they don't move or melt into each other. That's the word I want to use. So let me go and pop this into the oven quickly. Okay, so here we are, hot off the oven here. Just placed it on some tiles, and I think they are terracotta tiles if I'm not mistaken. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like as we brought it out of the oven. So if you look at it, let's just examine it a bit. So obviously with these two here, they ran because they probably were too close together. While I carried them, excuse me, them to the oven or something, they may have fallen down. So that's that. Here's the clear ones over here, okay, which are these ones here. That one there. So that's the clear ones there. Now I noticed that every time I do this batch, that the light green I noticed that every time I do this batch, the light green seems to be one of those ones that have a problem in terms of closing. So you'll see most of the other colors have done well. Here's a tiny little hole there, and here's one with a tiny hole, but I'm assuming where they were placed in the oven. But just if you look around this area, that seems to be fine, that seems to be fine, but the light green has a problem. But don't worry, because what we are doing is, let's see if we can take any that we have done where we kind of covered it up. Sorry, I'm just looking because I just added everything together here now. Oh yes, there's one here. So if you look at it, we're trying to cover it up with our nail polish. We're trying to cover those little dents with our nail polish. There's another one there. So you can keep it to the side, and you can pop it back when you make another batch of it, because I certainly won't just, you know, put them back into the oven, because it's, you know, taking some time to do, you know. So I'll just keep them aside if I'm not happy. And oh, sorry, yes, I was just looking at these here to show you what they were. So yes, so I, like, for example, that was the light green, and I tried to cover up the hole with some what's this thingy called? Nail polish. Oh my word. Yes, and there's another one that was a pinkish, I think, and it had a little hole over there, and I covered it up as well. I really like these colors. So you can see how much beautiful colors you can get by just adding your nail polish onto it, and no one will be the wiser. So that's how they look. But my pan is relatively cold, so I actually can go in now and take them out. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is that you mustn't leave it for too long. Don't leave this for too long onto the paper. Now that's annoying, so let's just do this. Yes, I can do that. I think I got two different widths or heights here when it comes to these stuff here. Yeah, they definitely two different heights. So if you look at it, all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it out. Now remember, I told you that like, you'll know when your grease-proof or parchment paper has been used up quite a bit, is because it's no more that shiny. It's not shiny anymore, so it becomes a little bit harder to take these off. I would say that I could still get away with one or two more lots in the oven like this, you know. So what I do is, because I have the oven specific to this purpose here, I'll just go and put this parchment paper back onto the oven tray now, and I'll keep it in my oven. Yeah, so, and then I also use it for polymer clay as well. When I don't use it when it's shiny, because then the polymer clay will get shiny. So when it's nice and matte, you can use it. But what really works well for polymer clay is just to put it on a, depending on what you're doing, it's just to put it on a A4 piece of printing paper. Yeah, so that's those are the four ones. These ones here, you can see there's that little hole in it. Yeah, so for some reason it's this color here. This color, if you look at it, it does not melt down easily. And look at how easy they are to take out. Hey, look at them. It doesn't take a long time. And ladies and gents, I mean, you can really add so much more to this. Hey, I just added very little because I wanted to show you the process, because my containers are quite full now, so I don't want to overfill them. And that's it. So I think all are out, and how beautiful do they look, you know? And there's the one I added. If I can collect it. Here's the one I added with the CD, on the CD cover. Here's that one I added here. Just you know, popped it by there with some glue, and it just adds another dimension to it. Oh my word, what did I do here? Some glue dropped on it. I must clean that out. Thankfully this glue will rub off. So yeah, so those are the things that you can use it for. Let me show you again. I used it for there. I used it on these here. And look, that green, it's the same green, and it worked perfectly well over there. And then I used it, I lie, not for this one here, but for this one here. So there's one here, and there's one here, and there's three over here. So you can really use it. They will make absolutely wonderful centers for your flowers. See, look at that. Now look. Now, bearing in mind that these are not going to be absolutely perfect, like a enamel dot. Now, you must know those ones are not made by hand. They are machine made. So they're going to be perfectly round. But there you go. You can even add them to that. See? Like that. So yes, I'm hoping that you enjoyed this little session with me, and I hope that I have inspired you where you don't have the craft supplies you need, but to do some DIY work with it in terms of making your own stuff. So take care, everybody. Have a blessed week ahead. This is very late on Sunday evening, and I apologize for that. Normally I like to get my videos out during the course of the weekend,